Hello, please mute all your mics. अमोल, नॉइस है थोड़ा तुझे ह्याच्यात.
Okay.
अमोल,
Yes, sir.
थोडासा नॉइस होता तुझ्या माईकचा.
Okay, okay. सर ओके आता.
थोडासा येतो, ठीक आहे. थोडा आहे ना, तुझा मोबाईल थोडा बाजूला ठेव ना.
ओके ओके सर.
तो स्पीकर पशी वगैरे असेल एखाद्या, त्याचा हमिंग मारतोय.
ओके 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 सर, एक मग मी काम करतो, फक्त डेस्कटॉप मी प्ले करतो, मोबाईल बंद ठेवतोय.
आता कमी येतोय आवाज, आता आला बरोबर.
ओके ठीक आहे.
Okay. Good morning, all. On behalf of Pune Vidyarthi Girls College of Engineering, Nashik, I welcome you all for the session Industrial Automation Scope After COVID-19. With us, Mr. Amol Panpatil is there. He's going to represent his institute, Autonetics. So we will, without wasting time, we will start the session. So we will conclude within our scheduled time. So I request Amol to start the session. Amol,
Okay. Hello sir.
you can start.
Thank you everyone. Before we start, I will show you something. सर लॅपटॉप ऑडिओ तुम्हाला येतोय? सर प्लीज चेक लॅपटॉप ऑडिओ.
लॅपटॉपचा ऑडिओ नाही येते.
ओके. सर जस्ट मिनिट.
तुझा म्यूट आहे लॅपटॉपचा ऑडिओ. लॅपटॉपचा स्पीकर म्यूट आहे.
शेअर ऑडिओ. नाव ओके सर.
हा, आता आला थोडा.
Okay, here I'm representing the welcome. Here Dobot and me. Welcome to everyone.
Hello everyone. So today we will discuss on industrial automation or scope after COVID-19. So first of all, I would like to thank all the faculties to allow me for giving this seminar. And I am so happy that all students took time to attend this seminar in the lockdown period. Okay. During this session, if anyone have a doubt, you can ask in comment section. So firstly, I introduce myself to all. I am Amol Panpatil from Autonetics Private Limited. I am working in industrial automation sector from last 4 years. During this period, I have trained many students for their career in industrial automation. Also, I have delivered services in the automation industry. Mainly, I have work on Siemens platform. I have worked in many industries like tire industry, pharmaceutical industry, power industry, and many more. So let's start the session.
Since the inception of manufacturing, factory owners have looked for a way to increase productivity and lower cost. This resulted in many of said factory owners looking for automation to help their bottom line. So, question is, what is automation? According to Merriam-Webster dictionary, automation is automatically control operation of an apparatus, process, or a system by mechanically or electronically device that take the place of human labor. If you walk inside the modern manufacturing plant, you might see something like this: a robot and automated machinery that can run typically without the need of human involvement. Also, automation result in better efficiency because humans make mistakes and they are not always very consistent. Also, automation practically eliminates the error, increase productivity, and allow for better monitoring and control of manufacturing processes. Automation also allows for certain tasks to be replicated over and over again. Automation isn't just more efficient, it is also smarter. Now, let's come to the next point. We will see the evolution of industry standard. So, the first industrial standard is Industry 1.0. In the 18th century, introduced mechanical production facility to the world, where water and steam-powered machineries were provided to help worker in the mass production of goods. Industry 1.0 can also be deemed as an beginning of the industry culture, which focused equally on scale and efficiency. So, the beginning of the 20th century marked the start the second industrial evolution. The main contributor of this revolution was the development of a machine running in electrical energy. This era also saw the evolution of an industry culture introduced in Industry 1.0 into management program to enhance the efficiency of manufacturing facility. Uh, Now come to the next revolution. The next industrial revolution resulting in Industry 3.0 was spread by the advance in electronic industry in last few decades of 20th century. The invention and manufacturing of electronic devices such as the transistor and later on the integrated circuit chip made it possible to more fully automated individual machines to supplement or replace operators. This period also grew the development of software system to capitalize on the electronic hardware. So, in this era, here introduce some key element of an automation. Here we saw the element of an automation is the first element is PLC system, that is a programmable logic controller. Second one is the SCADA system, the supervisory control and the data acquisition. Third one is the human machine interface, then drive system, and then the special purpose controllers. Okay, now come to the next topic, that is
अमोल तुझा आवाज येत नाही.
नमस्कार. To stop the spread of coronavirus disease.
अमोल तुझा आवाज येत नाही. अनम्यूट कर ना तुला.
such as assembly line or robotic devices or an activity that required high reliability, easy of programming and process fault diagnosis. PLC can range from small tens of input and output with an housing integral with the processor to large neck-mounted modular devices with a count of thousands of input and output, and which are often networked to other PLC and SCADA systems. PLC also like a Arduino and PIC type controller, but Arduino and PIC is generally used for small projects such as college projects, which work on basically C language. So, as we all know that everyone is not familiar with the C language. That's why PLC has optional programming languages. So you can program in any of its languages. PLC can be programmed work under the environment conditions such as temperature, moisture, and also high voltage level as well as for several different logic at a time. Okay, now I will show you the one example of an PLC programming language. So let's start the programming. At one time, automatic systems were controlled with relays. Relays are electromechanical devices and fail quickly as the mechanical parts wear out, and the electrical parts are destroyed as the electricity they switch burn away the contacts. They are big and use lots of electricity, generating lots of heat in the process. At one time, the only automatic device most people ever encounter was an elevator. In modern day control terms, The elevator is a simple application that is well understood. Even so, control system implementation in relays was a big, complicated affair. In order to understand why we call it ladder logic, you need to look at the how we document relay logic control. The actual ladder was the drawing of the control logic, an illustration of how the relays were wired together. Even today, a lot of conventions that led to ladder are still in use, and I will use recent example drawing to illustrate this. Here is a simplified drawing of control circuit. The appearances is what led to being called ladder logic, since it superficially resembles a ladder. Other drawing conventions that survive into software version include power at the top of the drawing with the hot or power rail going down the left side and the neutral rail going down the right side. We also have contacts or input on the left, the coil or output on the right, so that our power is flowing from left to right. Finally, each of the output is on separated horizontal line, or in our ladder metaphor, rung. Another convention is that we always descend the ladders. We work from top to bottom. Relays are simple devices consisting of coils and the contacts they are moved. When electricity energizes the coil, it moves the contacts, connecting some and disconnecting others. The lowest level element of ladder logic mimic those relay functions. Example of the logic from the example drawing I have been using, rendered in Rockwell Software Studio 5000. Output contact or in real life relays are usually called normally open and normally closed. Normally open means that when the relay coil is not powered, normally for a relay, the contact is open or not conducting. Normally closed is the opposite. When the relay coil is off, the contact is on or conducting. So here is our software representation of a normally open contact. The drawing symbol and the symbol in the software are pretty much the same. Normally closed contacts are also very similar, just a representation of the two separate contacts. Finally, the relay coil, not quite a full circle like a drawing, but close enough to point across. Things we have described so far to be useful, they have to make other things happen. For instance, if the machine is ready to run and we push the auto start button, we want the machine to start continuously running until we push the auto stop button. Here is our English sentence written in ladder logic. Let's take that picture apart and look at the English with it. If the machine is ready to run, we have contact called ready to run and we push the auto start button. Auto start contact with the two contacts in series so that if both of them are on, then we energize the auto running coil. When we energize the auto running coil, that also energizes the auto running contact, which keeps the auto running coil energized, continuously cycling until we push the auto stop button. Since that is normally closed contact, when we push the button, it stops conducting, which de-energizes the coil. The circuit we just draw in ladder logic and the one of the could have drawn paper. This is thousands of motor starter panel all over the world. They add stuff to it, but the basic circuit and meaning are the same. Push the start button, the motor runs until you push the stop button. Welcome to real world ladder logic. Since the real world is more complicated than just on and off, we need some more complicated function to deal with it. One of these was in original drawing I started this object and I wanted to come back and cover it. One of the most common function other than on and off is a time delay, something that wait a specified period of time before turning on and off. We had one of these drawing, although its output isn't specified. We call these timing relays when we use them
in circuit like this drawing. In the ladder logic program, we must specify all these different need for a timer. In our Allen Bradley ladder logic, we have an on delay timer which is labeled T on. The amount of time if it delays is specified in milliseconds. So the half second timer in our example become 500 milliseconds. These sorts of more complex functions are what we call function block in ladder logic programming. The function contained in this block and how they operate vary between PLC manufacturers. And even within a given manufacturer's PLCs, they may differ. So this ends of our introduction of history of ladder logic and how to got the name.
Now, um, now you can here you can see the ladder programming is very easy to program than other type of controller. As you see, this programming only contains symbols which you have to drag and drop as per the logic. Now come to the next point, that is nothing but SCADA system, supervisory control and data acquisition. SCADA is a control system architecture comprising computer, network data communication, and graphical user interface for high-level process supervisory management, while also comprising other peripheral devices like PLC, discrete PID controller to interface with process plant or the machinery, are broadly used for the controlling and monitoring of the processes. SCADA allows the operator to keep a track of the entire process from his place or a control room. SCADA systems are used in various industry and manufacturing units like energy, pharmaceuticals, oil and gas, power, water and waste management, and many more. Um, let's see the one example of this SCADA system. I will show you.
So let's see the application of SCADA. Now you receive. Sorry to interrupt. Just 1 second. So let's start the video again. And the barrel pushes automatically out to the output conveyor. Now this is the speed control of the process. As I vary the speed, you see the process will take and fast. In this way, we can vary the speed of the process very easily. Now there is a selector switch that is auto and manual. If you select manual, then then you have to push the button that is new barrel. Then we have to transfer it and then eject the barrel. And now we will see if we fail to check the barrel, then what will happen. Then I will take the new barrel, then I will transfer it, and I am failed to eject it. The oil from the barrel, it will splash on the ground, and automatically a message from the manager, will you please come into my office? That means it is the operator who is operating the whole system. The manager will see and whole system with the use of SCADA from anywhere with the use of the networks.
Now from SCADA, this is the final process. Now there are the many sections, that is reactor. Means here we see the fluid is processing. There is a concentration of fluid, there is a temperature, there is a level. For the temperature and the level, there are alarms, can acknowledge the alarms, and we can also acknowledge the all alarms in a single shot. We all soften the graph of the temperature and the level. These are the walls, water walls, steam walls, transfer walls, output walls. We can operate this wall from the SCADA, and also there is a password protection for the that unauthorized person will do not have the mm, he do not operate the walls. He do not have the authorization to operate this wall. Then we can see the batch concentration. Click OK and exit. We can associate the historical trend. This is the process going continuously for the 24 hours. Then we can say the train of the process means how it will goes, what are the alarms come in that in last 24 hours or in the day, how the process will be taking place. We can see all these graphs of the performance in that historical trend. Therefore, maintenance, there is solenoid valve. So there is come some fault between the solenoid valve. So there is a message come and verify actuator and limit switch. So operator going to verify the actuators and image switch to take it on. Okay. As by using SCADA, we can control the whole process from anywhere in the anything any location with using of networks. SCADA is very good for monitoring and operating. The let's see, the next topic is the HMI system, that is the human machine interface. HMI is exactly what the name implies, the graphical user interface that allow the human and machine to interact. HMI is the user interface that connect an operator to the controller for an industrial system. Therefore, the HMI an operator can see the schematic of the system and turn switches and pump on and off. HMI along with the PLC are typically the backbone of the production line in their industry. First of all, let's see the difference between SCADA system and HMI. We will talk about the difference as well as the similarities and also when each is used. There is usually some confusion because of the similarities.
First, talk about SCADA for now. SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. These are used for monitoring and controlling large areas, typically a full site or plants. SCADA systems are a combination of many systems including sensors, RTUs or remote terminal units, and PLCs. Data from all of these systems is then sent to the central SCADA unit. That SCADA unit has its own HMI. This is why a lot of people get confused and think SCADA and HMI are one and the same. That HMI or human machine interface unit on the SCADA can monitor and control anything that is connected to it. In conclusion, HMI can be a part of a SCADA, but SCADA cannot be a part of HMI. It's that simple. So let's talk about the common use of SCADA that I personally encountered while working for a water and wastewater treatment facility. I encountered SCADA system. The HMI was located at the main water plant building. This HMI was connected to the main SCADA unit at the water plant. Each booster pump station within the water district was represented on the screen. At each location, there was a PLC that was connected to same sensor to monitor water flow, pressure, and other things, and it was able to run and control the pumps itself. The remote SCADA unit was connected to the PLC system and allow operator to control and monitor each pump station from the main plant. I'm sure you can imagine how much time and labor a good SCADA system can save a company. I like to think of SCADA system kind of like a modern vehicle. You have several different sensors connected to different computer on board. Most of your interior feature like motorized seats, climate control and other things are controlled by PCM or body control module. Most of your engine function and sensors are monitored and controlled by your ECM or engine control module. These modules all send the information to main screen in your dash for you see and control through driver controls, which is essentially your HMI. An HMI is essentially a user control station, usually in the form of a touchscreen or a screen with some buttons attached. They are typically tied to machine or process. Most HMI applications have the screen tied to PLC that is compatible with certain function and sensor can be programmed to monitor and control on the screen itself. The common HMI that you all encounter on regular basis will be an ATM machine. A screen the push button allows to operate the machine to dispense a certain amount of money or to deposit the money. Let's talk about the industrial HMIs now. It will be hard to have good automated process in industry without an HMI. Many times an HMI will be in the form of a screen, kind of like computer screen, and more time than not, they are touchscreen. An operator or maintenance personnel can operate and monitor the machine from the HMI. They may include information like temperature, pressure, process states, and material counts. They can also show very precise level in tanks and exact positioning of machine, very, where machine information used to be viewed on multiple indicators which can now be viewed on the one screen. The possibility are only limited to the software and hardware used. For maintenance personnel, many HMI can also connect to the PLC logic and display it on the screen for troubleshooting purposes. This can save valuable time compared to connecting a computer or laptop every time. Another benefit of having modern HMI is the fact that plants and other industrial sites can monitor and control multiple machines or other equipment. A small manufacturing facility will even monitor the entire plants or one centrally located HMI. Water and wastewater facilities have utilized this for years by coupling an HMI with a PLC. They are able to monitor remote locations like water pumps as well as equipment inside the plant. You probably get the idea now that HMI is the operating panel and monitoring screen. But how does the HMI actually connect to the machine to be able to control and monitor it? Let's take a look. First, HMI use special software so engineers can program them correctly. Different brands of panels use different softwares accordingly. The softwares allow the engineer to design what the operator will actually see on the screen, what they can monitor on the screen, what buttons can be pushed, and how to operate can multiple the machines. For example, the HMI may have large tank displayed on the screen with the level of the liquid displayed. Next to the tank is pump to lower the liquid level. An HMI can also have to start and stop button displayed and usable on the screen next to the pump. This display will be able to actually turn the pump on and off. But it's not easy as just placing a button on the screen or tank with the level on the screen. The personal programming, the HMI has to program each indicator and button to a specific input or output addresses of the PLC. This brings up another point. The HMI and PLC need to be compatible, which means they need to able to talk to each other. They do this to or what is called protocol. Different companies use different protocols. Common protocol are Modbus, Ethernet IPs, and Profibus. These are all just industrial networks, kind of like the network you may have in your home with the computer, TVs, or other devices connected to each other. Industrial protocols connect the different PLCs, HMI, and other machines to each other. Protocol information is easily found on each manufacturer's website. Once the PLC and HMI are talking, the whatever programming into the HMI can be used to monitor and control PLC function. So let's come to next point, that is special purpose controller. Here including some different categories. Here are many different controllers are available according to our need of the project. As you already heard about Arduino board, Raspberry Pi board, there are some other controllers which can be used and they are like Node MCU, Piccolo board, Bolt IoT, BeagleBone, Photon, like this. All the controllers have their different input and output ranges, communication protocol or other specifications. According to the requirement and by considering factor like temperature, pressure, vibration, we can use any control. So
In the 21st century, Industry 4.0 connects the Internet of Things with the manufacturing technique to enable systems to share information, analyze it, and use it to guide intelligent actions. It also incorporates cutting-edge technologies including additive manufacturing, robotics, artificial intelligence, and other cognitive technologies is advanced material and augmented reality. But nowadays, IoT and AI is the most popular technique in the industry. Um, so the uh, Internet of Things or IoT refers to the billion of physical devices around the world that are now connected to the internet, all collecting and sharing the data. The IoT system consists of smart devices that use embedded systems such as processors, sensors, communications hardware to send or collect the data. The IoT helps people to work smarter. Also, it enables companies to automate process and reduce labor cost. It also cut down the waste and improve service. IoT can also make use of artificial intelligence and machine learning to aid to making the data collection processes easier and more dynamic. Artificial intelligence or simple AI is the term used to describe machines' ability to simulate human intelligence. Actions like learning, logic, reasoning, creativity that were once considered unique to humans is now being replicated by technology and used in every industry.
so let's see about the IoT system. Here I will show you how to use, where to use the IoT system into this video. Let's see this video.
The Internet of Things, or IoT, is influencing our lifestyle from the way we react to the way we behave. From air conditioners that you can control with your smartphone, to smart cars providing the shortest route, or your smartwatch which is tracking your daily activities. IoT is a giant network of connected devices. These devices gather and share data about how they're used and the environment in which they're operated. It's all done using sensors. Sensors are embedded in every physical device. It can be your mobile phone, electrical appliances, vehicles, barcode sensors, traffic lights, and almost everything that you come across in day-to-day life. These sensors continuously emit data about the working state of the devices. But the important question is, how do they share this huge amount of data and how do we put this data to our benefit? IoT provides a common platform for all these devices to dump their data and a common language for all the devices to communicate with each other. Data is emitted from various sensors and sent to IoT platforms securely. IoT platform integrates the collected data from various sources. Further analytics is performed on the data and valuable information is extracted as per requirement. Finally, the result is shared with other devices for better user experience, automation, and improving efficiency. Let us look at a scenario where IoT is doing wonders. In an AC manufacturing industry, both the manufacturing machine and the belt have sensors attached. They continuously send data regarding the machine health and the production specifics to the manufacturer to identify issues beforehand. A barcode is attached to each product before leaving the belt. It contains the product code, manufacturer details, special instructions, etc. The manufacturer uses this data to identify where the product was distributed and track the retailer's inventory. Hence, the manufacturer can make the product running out of stock available. Next, these products are packed in parcels to different retailers. Each retailer has a barcode reader to track the products coming from different manufacturers, manage inventory, check special instructions, and many more. The compressor of air conditioner has an embedded sensor that emits data regarding its health and temperature. This data is analyzed continuously, allowing the customer care to contact you for the repair work in time. This is just one of the million scenarios. We have smart appliances, smart cars, smart homes, smart cities, where IoT is redefining our lifestyle and transforming the way we interact with technologies. The future of IoT industry is huge. Business Insider Intelligence estimates that 24 billion IoT devices will be installed by 2020, and IDC predicts that IoT revenue will reach around 357 billion in 2019, resulting in a lot of job opportunities in the IT industry.
So, hope you understand the IoT system. Now let's come to the next point. So, let's imagine the machine that could organize your cupboard just as you like, or it customize your cup and coffee, makes your day easier. I know everyone wants such a system nowadays, but doesn't it? These are the product of artificial intelligence. But why use the terms artificial intelligence? Let's see this video. So,
Well, these machines are artificially incorporated with human-like intelligence to perform tasks as we do. This intelligence is built using complex algorithms and mathematical functions. But AI may not be as obvious as in the previous examples. In fact, AI is used in smartphones, cars, social media feeds, video games, banking, surveillance, and many other aspects of our daily life. The real question is, what does an AI do at its core? Here is a robot we built in our lab, which is now dropped onto a field. In spite of a variation in lighting, landscape, and dimensions of the field, the AI robot must perform as expected. This ability to react appropriately to a new situation is called generalized learning. The robot is now at a crossroad, one that is paved and the other rocky. The robot must determine which path to take based on the circumstances. This portrays the robot's reasoning ability. After a short stroll, the robot now encounters a stream that it cannot swim across. Using the plank provided as an input, the robot is able to cross this stream. So, our robot uses the given input and finds the solution for a problem. This is problem solving. These three capabilities make the robot artificially intelligent. In short, AI provides machines with the capability to adapt, reason, and provide solutions. Well, now that we know what AI is, let's have a look at the two broad categories an AI is classified into. Weak AI, also called narrow AI, focuses solely on one task. For example, AlphaGo is a maestro of the game Go, but you can't expect it to be even remotely good at chess. This makes AlphaGo a weak AI. You might say Alexa is definitely not a weak AI, since it can perform multiple tasks. Well, that's not really true. When you ask Alexa to play Despacito, it picks up the keywords play and Despacito and runs a program it is trained to. Alexa cannot respond to a question it isn't trained to answer. For instance, try asking Alexa the status of traffic from work to home. Alexa cannot provide you this information, as she is not trained to. And that brings us to our second category of AI, strong AI. Now, this is much like the robots that only exist in fiction as of now. Ultron from Avengers is an ideal example of a strong AI. That's because it's self-aware and eventually even develops emotions. This makes the AI's response unpredictable. You must be wondering, well, how is artificial intelligence different from machine learning and deep learning? We saw what AI is. Machine learning is a technique to achieve AI, and deep learning, in turn, is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning provides a machine with the capability to learn from data and experience through algorithms. Deep learning does this learning through ways inspired by the human brain. This means through deep learning, data and patterns can be better perceived. Ray Kurzweil, a well-known futurist, predicts that by the year 2045, we would have robots as smart as humans. This is called the point of singularity. Well, that's not all. In fact, Elon Musk predicts that the human mind and body will be enhanced by AI implants, which would make us partly cyborg. The human brain is still a mystery. It's no surprise that AI too has a lot of unventured domains. For now, AI is built to work with humans and make our tasks easier. However, with the maturation of technology, we can only wait and watch what the future of AI holds for us.
Now, let's see the example of automation process industry on which I have worked recently. So I will. Okay, let's come to the point. Let's see one example of automation process industry on which I have worked recently. This is the tire manufacturing company. Here I will show you which process parameter means which are the input output we were taking into consideration while we generate a program. We are using gripper which hold the tire sensor to sense whether tire is present inside the gripper or not, and also we are using on switch, off switch and emergency switch in case any error occur, and there are robotics arm for picking type and placing it. At first, tire were placed inside the gripper. After detection of tire is present, their system and then sends the request to place the tire inside the press. Uh, when the tire gets placed, their system generates a vacuum. Checking all the parameter for operation. If all the condition gets okay, then gripper comes out. This press machine molds the tire into a defined shape and size. When gripper uh, comes out, the press machine system generates a signal and close the press for the further process. Baking process of the tire get done. This process continue for an hour, During this process, steam and vacuum maintain their value with reference to pressure value. Here now, the after baking process, press automatically get open. The dispatch gripper remove tire from the press and then check quality of the tire. Now, at this moment, the tire temperature is near about 150 degrees Celsius. Sorting of the tire get done with reference to quality of the tire and then the defined parameter.
So come to the next example. I have designed one application in artificial intelligence. This is one of my big AI project, just designed like Alexa. These voice commands which I'm using this were of Microsoft Zira which are inbuilt in my laptop. Using event ghost command, I created Python script which operate as per my PC command. Again, if want to create online command, it will also created by changing profile function and then I can set predefined keywords. Unlike Alexa is created for one mode. This application uses various commands. That's why it becomes a smart system. We can design a system like one you all heard of that in Jarvis which we have seen in Iron Man movie. Currently, we are using this project for our office use, for welcoming all visitors, for calling and counseling. Also, it creates records of the visitors in PC. So, let's demonstrate it. Hello,
I am still here.
what is your name?
Lisa.
Why your name Lisa?
The Lisa was first introduced on January 19, 1983. It is one of the first personal computer systems with a graphical user interface to be sold commercially. It uses a Motorola 68000 CPU clocked at 5 MHz and has 1 MB of RAM. And now I'm the Autonetics first computer system with integrated with artificial intelligence. So I'm also like a Lisa computer.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome Autonetics.
So here I'm changing profile for specific keyword. Switch to main profile.
Switching to main profile. Completed.
Please open eDrive.
Opening eDrive.
Close this window. Please open C drive.
Here you go.
Close this window. Internet activity, just like switch to social profile.
Switching to social profile. Completed.
Please open YouTube.
Opening YouTube for you.
Okay, let's do something just like an Alexa. Play Despacito song.
Here you go.
So here you play the Despacito song. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Close window. Okay, now let's see something different. Show me status of traffic from home to work.
Here you go. All route free now. I can select shortest one for you.
Okay, we see the data fidelity just like please open Facebook.
Here you go.
Okay, here I'm not logging into Facebook. So log me into Facebook.
Okay. I'm logging into Facebook. Please check your email. If it is correct, then you already told your password. Promise I won't tell anyone.
See, this one is the perfect example of the data fidelity. Close window. Close window. Okay. Thank you, Lisa.
Come to our main point, that is industry after COVID-19. So, as per industry experts, we will see on this COVID-19 epidemic is really going to accelerate automation in the economics around the world. In the area like a restaurant where we have to communicate with people, the chances of spreading virus is more. So if we will use automatic machines in this area, like this way, this it will be more safe. Just like use drone technology for delivering the foods, or use for surveillance, or use some smart robots for cleaning and provide food and vegetables door to door. Nowadays, we also see in some place we use robots for preparing the food. In every sector, I think the long-term solution will be more useful. Just like we look forward to the artificial intelligence. So I will explain you one example. In Philippines or in USA, where too many people get affected by the coronavirus. The people who work from home also get positive by coronavirus, and it causes effect on the IT industry or telecalling industry. Like this, also one segment that has been dramatically impacted here in just few weeks. Lot of companies shut down because of this COVID-19. And according to today's situation, India also suffer this scenario in next few days. So in that situation, call center shut down, and that means tens of thousands of calls couldn't come, so they suffer losses in medical facilities, transport facilities, and many more. So solution to this problem use the artificial intelligence. You know the one AI that comes to the mind right to talk is Alexa, and provide call center services that is also probably going to become a lot more popular that they have created or introduced AI into the market. Because for social media, gaming, and automobile industry, AI is more powerful factor, and after COVID-19 also increases its popularity. So COVID-19 is also right moment for use such a technology in different manner. So as per industry experts, we will see how COVID-19 impacts on different industry and markets. So process industry are up by the lower single digit. The automotive Automotive focused markets are at the mid at the downturn. Electronic and semiconductor are flattening and stabilizing. Machinery market are concentrated but will stabilize in the mid of 2020. As per all this observation on the market, it is expected that more industry are going to use automation in every process. So there will be a more chance if you use get train and in a different controller like IoT, AI technology, it matters a lot. Use all the technology, we can create a better automation in industry. So let's see the next topic.
Now let's talk about the Autonetics. At Autonetics Automation, we provide a solution for every budget and for all kind of automation requirements. We cater our clients with the best of service along with end-to-end solutions. Automation undertake automation project all over India and abroad in a wide range of process industry like tire industry, pharmaceutical industry, power electrical industry, home automation, robotic industry, forging industry, and mining industry, to name a few. Automation also help to reduce the gap between industry and yourself, help you according to current market trend and industry need. Autonetics provide you the portal to meet your professional characteristic and make your industry ready professional. Autonetics offer certification course in PLC SCADA or an embedded system for B and diploma graduate under and working professional for their better career. So now next come to the next point is
Automatics provide training on embedded development, where we provide training on ARM development board, then we provide training on drone development, where you can learn the drone programming and mechanical assembly. Then Raspberry Pi development, here you can learn Raspberry Pi in basic programming to analog sensor based programming. Again, how to various module to interface with Raspberry Pi. Then Arduino development, here you can learn from basic to GPS GSM interfacing. Then PCB designing, you can learn up to 4-layer PCB making. Then Android application, where you can develop various APK files. Then Internet of Things, as you can see here, you get basic IoT structure to advanced IoT structure. Then Python programming, you can design basic fundamental designing to up to GUI design, that is graphical user interface. Here you can learn how to customize your own AI system. Then machine learning, and in Dobot you can learn drawing, pick and place, suction cup, then 3D printing and laser engraving with 40 supporting languages. And in industrial automation, we provide training on 6 plus PLC system, 2 plus SCADA system, 4 plus HMI system, mechatronic system, TRI system, and many more. For more information, you can visit our website, that is www.automaticstraining.com.
so come to our the last topic, the top 10 job for the fresher in 2020. So all this session you are heard about the automation and their advantages. So this job help your platform to the right manner. You will find automation in each and every industry irrespective of its size. As the demand of the automated machines in on rise, you will find increase in manufacture of such a machine and plants. Now the user and manufacturer of automated system require engineers to design maintain, and modify such system. So ideally, every industry needs such a automation engineer. PLC and SCADA are also used in these trackers, reclaimers, ship loaders, and conveyor belt systems, which are used in ports and mines. Whenever any industry want to employ engineers, they prefer automation engineer rather than just a typical degree and diploma engineer. Now you can imagine the job opportunities in automation sector in India. You just need to find and right one. Besides this, SCADA is extensively used in power distribution system. Distribution companies in the big cities use SCADA to control switching of circuit breakers and monitoring the power flow in feeders, as they are difficult to control them manually. They are also used for monitoring and maintaining grid stability also. PLC SCADA controller usually have indoor workers, like in a good safe environment rather than the field work. So So this is the end of our session. I hope you like it. Here, hello.
Hello.
Huh. Uh, Hope so. Everyone, you learn about the automation. Uh, if anyone have a question, please ask me. Ask me here. Otherwise, you can text me.
Okay, Amol.
Okay.
If anybody having a question, just put in a chat box so Amol can answer later ones. So friends, actually we people had seen yesterday one trend is going on Twitter. The trend is boycott the China products. Everybody knows there is a Fansuk Wangdu, one character from the Three Idiots, played by the Amir Khan. Actually, the Sonam Wangchuk. He has requested yesterday just stop using the Chinese products. He has just told us to stop using the softwares within a weeks. And also, stop means that he has given a chance. He has just said, just wait for 1 year and then start developing our own hardware. So it is possibility that most of the companies in India, there's a chances most of the companies going to start their own startups in the software and hardware. Even last year, I visited United States and I found machine learning is the main important thing which was implemented throughout the malls everywhere in the United States. So we're
Exactly.
having the great opportunity in India due to this COVID. Now there is a big challenge going, the big face off going between India and China. So mostly the people's trying to put their setups in India. So we should look towards this particular thing cleverly, and we should grab those opportunity using means taking this specialization in this machine learning, artificial intelligence, or IoT. Machine learning is the nowadays best part, and people are trying to put their efforts in a machine learning. Yes, it takes some time to start your career, but it's a best at this moment. Yes, Amol. Anything else?
Okay. Here, Rahul asked me a question: how to chance a job in IoT sector after B. So here I'm presenting one example. The Seat tire. Okay. सो यात मी काय रिप्रेझेंट केलं की नथिंग बट जे टायर आपण मॅन्युफॅक्चर करतोय त्याला एक समथिंग एक लेबल काहीतरी असतं, म्हणजे कुठला टायर कधी जनरेट झालाय, कोणी ऑपरेटर कोण होता, दॅट टाइम टेम्परेचर अँड प्रेशर काय होता. सो दॅट इज रिक्वायरमेंट इज नेसेसरी. सो इन एव्हरी इंडस्ट्री IoT इज दी more powerful factor nowadays. Any question?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Amol. Thank you. Thank you very much for
Thank you, sir.
joining
Thank
us.
you again.
thank you all the participants who joined the session. They have spared their times, uh, throughout the sessions. I'm very thankful on behalf of Pune Vidyarthi Girls College of Engineering and Nasik. The same session will be available over the YouTube also. You can check it out there. I will share the link with all the participants. For your e-certificate, please send your selfie during the session, so we can issue your e-certificates. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Amar. Okay. So we will stop here. We end the
Okay.
session here.
ओके
Okay.
अँड इफ तुम्हाला कधी क्वेश्चन वाटला तर ईमेल आय डी मी प्रेझेंट केलंय स्क्रीनवर, सो यू कॅन आस्क मी एनी टाइम. ओके, सो लेट्स फिनिश दिस सेशन.
Okay.
ओके
Thank
सर.
you.
काय काम करतो तू